Let's now check out the interface for Guitar Rig 6. If you've used any of the Native Instruments products, you should be familiar with this layout. On the left here, we have access to the library, and on the right, the main interface for Guitar Rig. I can open or close the library by clicking over here. Within the library, we have access to individual presets or individual components. Under the presets, you can see here there's a huge list, 1029 to be specific. To navigate this a bit easier, we have search modifiers. Like for example, under input sources, I could select guitar. So let's say I'm looking for guitar presets. The list is already narrowed down to 523 results. Let's say I want to further narrow it down to a specific effects type category. Let's say filter, and let's choose this wah-wah. And now we just have 8 presets. Let me load in one of these. Maybe this funky auto wah. Double-clicking it will load in the preset. All right, let's have a listen to this. Now within this preset, we can make changes. Like for example, I'm not a fan of that tape echo, so I'm going to turn it off. I could also remove it entirely by right-clicking and selecting Delete Selected. Now we don't have the delay. We can reorder effects. So for example, if I want the studio reverb to happen before the compressor and the amp, I can place it up top here. A little strange for signal flow, but you can do it if you want to. So the signal flow is always from top to bottom. So currently the guitar is going to the auto filter, then the reverb, the amp section with the tube compressor, and then the cabinet. Now if I want to just discard all the modules in here, I can just hit this delete button. Very convenient, and now it clears it out so I can start from scratch. Though technically, if you'll see over here, it still says funky auto wah. So we still have the same preset loaded in, but we do not have any modules, so I can individually add in components. So from the components category here, I can choose an amplifier. Let's choose the Chicago amp. This is new in Guitar Rig 6. Let's go under filters and let's choose this wah-wah. I'm actually going to place it before the amp so I can drop it here. And let's have a listen to this now. Very bright and shrill, but we can always go in and make changes to the individual modules. Alright, we'll get back to this in more detail in a later tutorial. But for now, let's talk a bit more about the interface. I can make the entire interface a lot bigger by clicking over here and selecting any of these sizes. So let's choose 150%, much bigger. And since we have vector-based graphics, it's all very, very clean and crisp. We can make it smaller at 75%. I'm going to set it back to 100. Up top here, you can choose the input source, either just left or right, or you can make it stereo so it takes both signals. Most probably your guitar signal is mono, so you can just choose one. Here we have the input gain option. This can dramatically change the tone of the preset, so you can play around with this. There's also a built-in gate to cut off any noise that may be coming through from your guitar. Like currently, you can hear a little bit of noise coming through. So what I could do is engage the gate and set the threshold. Now, if you're not sure what to set this at, there is a learn parameter here. So just tap that once, and as long as you're not playing, it'll just cut out any signal that is not being heard. But once you start playing, you'll hear the signal. So that's a very nice way to clean up your signal. Next here, we have an output level control. So if things get too loud, you can bring it down. And then there's also a very simple limiter to ensure that the signal doesn't cross the set level. And finally here you have your CPU meter, and then you can turn off the entire plugin by just clicking here. Alright, so that's a quick look at the interface for Guitar Rig 6. In the next tutorial, let's check out this toolbar over here and see all the features we get with it.